Hello guys and welcome to Freebird's Q and welcome to 75-day Hard Generative AI Learning Challenge, and this is day 63. And in the last videos, you will see that how quantization works and how accuracy is maintained while doing the quantization, as well as along with the importance of int8 precision format over the int1 and int4 precision formats. Okay, so in this video, I will tell you the basic operations using which we can do the quantization and de-quantization as well, and I will show you how you can attain the maximum accuracy in the quantized form by using the quantization granularity. So let's get started. And first we have the types of quantization with us. Okay, so as you see on my screen, there are two types of quantization operation. The first is called quantize, that converts the high precision formats to the low precision formats like int8, and then we have the de-quantize that converts the low precision formats into the high precision formats. Okay, and in quantization or in the quantized function, we'll convert the data into a particular range of our integer bit format. Okay, so let's just say we have the int8 precision format, so we need to convert our high precision value into the range of the int8 precision format, that is -127 to 128. Okay, so this A1 and A2, it means the lower bound and the upper bound of the range of the int8 precision format. Okay, so we need to map all the elements in the range of that integer 8 precision format. Okay, and we can use the two types of range mapping functions. The first is called affine quantization and second is called scale quantization. Okay, so in affine quantization, we'll do one thing. We have this kind of two values that we use. The first is called the S, the second value is called the Z. The S value will do one thing, it will get the range, and the Z value, it will try to map 0 of your high precision value to a Z value. Okay, because we have to map all the high precision values into the low precision values, so we also need to map the 0 as well. So in the affine quantization, your position of the 0 in the low precision format is decided by this Z formula. Okay, so you need to calculate the S and the Z value, and when you calculate the S and the Z value, you can easily put these values together and try to clip out all the information in a particular range of the -127 to 128 or any other int quantizations that you are using as well. Okay, so by using this clip operation, you can easily get it down with the actual quantized value. So your whole equation will looks like this. You have the clip function, you have the round function that will give you the Z value, and along with your ranges as well, the minus to the plus range here. So, okay, so in that way you get the X quantized value. Okay, and if you want to de-quantize it, you can just revert this kind of equation and you will get this kind of de-quantized equation as well. That will give you the high precision value from the low precision value as well. So I hope you guys completely understand about the affine quantization. But if we talk about the scale quantization, so in scale, if you just see this graph, the scale quantization, the 0 is mapped to the 0 in the low precision format as well. So you don't need to calculate any kind of Z value here. Okay, so the formula remains the same, but just we don't need to calculate the Z value. So its formula looks like this now: X quantize equal to clip round, and in between the range of our precision format as well. If you are using the int8, then it is -127 to +128. Okay, and then it has the same kind of de-quantized formula as well. Okay, so now you guys completely understand about the affine quantization along with the scale quantization as well. But these technique helps the quantization, but still we need to be very careful about the drop in accuracy, because quantization leads to the drop in accuracy because of converting the high precision values into the low precision values as well. So that's where the granularity of the quantization comes into picture. So we need to select the right granularity, helping in the maximizing the quantization without much drop in the performance as well. So if you just see this kind of picture as well, we have this FFP 32 values. We need to convert it into the int8 format as well. So we need to apply those kind of quantization techniques like affine or like scale as well. So we need to apply in a particular way. You need to apply it vector as well, or like a value by value, or like in the row wise format or in the column wise format as well. So we need to be take care about that. So that's what the granularity actually means. It is the way in which the quantization gets applied to all the values or all the weights or all the activation functions that you have. Because we have the input data in a multi-dimensional form and we need to quantize it. So when we need to quantize it, we need to quantize it by some way. We can quantize it by taking the 1D array out of it, or by taking the 2D array out of it, or by taking the 3D array out of it as well. So the process of grouping the data for the quantization in some way, and that is actually called the quantization granularity. Okay, so the common choices of the quantization granularity are per channel quantization. So in per channel quantization, different quantization techniques are applied to each channel or tensor or vector as well. This often leads to lower error rate while quantization compared to the per tensor quantization as well, because in per tensor we are applying the quantization to the one single value in the array at a time. Okay, so the next is also the per tensor quantization. The same quantization parameters are applied to all the elements within the tensor. So all the elements within the array. So applying the same quantization or applying the same parameter across the tensor will cause drop in accuracy as well, since the range of parameters as well, that might be different as well, because we know in the high precision values the range can be very, very different. Okay, and the next is called sub-channel wise quantization. So in the sub-channel wise quantization, it goes beyond the traditional channel wise quantization, divides the channels into the smaller groups for even more granular precision control. However, this approach could add considerably overhead because of multiple scaling factors. So this technique can be quite expensive as well. Okay, so the next thing is group wise quantization. So in group wise quantization, multiple different channels inside a layer are used to calculate the clipping range of the activation functions. So this reduces the errors by the distribution ranges of the parameter as well, because we are trying to calculate the clipping range, because we don't actually use the -127 to +128. Sometimes a value range can be between the -10 to +10 as well. So we need to calculate the clipping range to apply the group wise quantization. And the next technique is called VS quantization. In the VS quantization, it applies a scale factor for each vector of element within a single dimension of the tensor. It subdivides channel dimension into the group of vectors. So if we just see kind of a graph here as well, it takes a one portion from the one array and second portion from the second array as well, and then multiplies it to build a kind of another vector. So in this vector, your whole quantization get applied. Okay, because to improve the area and the energy efficiency of a two-level scaling scheme is introduced, because the algorithm first computes the floating point scale factors at per vector granularity, and then it quantizes the per vector scale factors by separating them into the integer per vector components and floating per vector components as well. So in that way, high precision values that are like floating precision values are converted into the integer values as well. If we just see this kind of a graph here, it shows that how you can convert the quantization approach to a group size along with the scale type and the group size as well. Okay, I want to just say that the quantization is used to reduce the memory footprint of the model. Quantization at various kind of granularities can be applied. Okay, it can improve the performance of the model, but this can add the computation cost as well. Scaling factors that are quite expensive, like this VS and the group wise or sub channel wise quantizations as well. So you need to be focused on these two that the first is called the per channel quantization and second is called the per tensor quantization, because these two quantizations are very, very efficient and they can easily help you out in doing the quantizations techniques as well. Okay, so I hope you guys completely understand about the basic operations of the quantization and how the quantization granularity can helps in your improving the model's accuracy and model performance. Okay, so in our next video I will tell you about the difference between the 1-bit large language model and 1.5-bit large language model and how those are completely different from the int1 and int4 quantization formats as well. So just be with it and we'll meet in our next video. And if you want to know more about prompt engineering, data science and large language model, you can watch my videos on YouTube and read my blogs on Medium. We'll meet in our next video. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.